Hello YouTube, TB back with you again, and today I'd like to talk a little bit about some backpacking, snowshoeing, being out in the cold weather tips that I've picked up over the last 25 years or so. And stick with me and I'll let you check all that out. Okay guys, today what I'd like to talk about is keeping your hands warm, and that is, what kind of gloves do you use? So if say I'm in Colorado, it's in the middle of January, February, and I'm walking around town or just hanging out, bar hopping, eating, stuff like that. These gloves are from a company called Manzella, and they're called Windstoppers, and they're very effective gloves. They work really well. Their website is windstopper.com. They're relatively cheap gloves. They're not expensive, but they stop the wind totally. So your fingers stay warm, your hands stay warm. They've got nice leather insets on the fingers and on the palms, so you still got good grip and everything. But they're super lightweight. You can just take them off and stick them in your pocket when you go inside, stuff like that. Very, very effective gloves, and they're fantastic when you're around camp and stuff like that. When you're not out digging in the snow and in the freezing temperatures. For many years I skied, and while skiing and snowshoeing I would wear glove liners like this. And then I had just regular standard ski gloves, which are Gore-Tex, so they're really good. And for many years they were fine. I'd use these snowshoeing, and I would also use these skiing. And the last time I went skiing, I was on the lift going up the mountain, and my fingers started getting really cold. And even with the glove liners, plus these thick insulated gloves, which also have very good grip on them to hold your ski poles and things like that, they work really well. Then I got off the lift and I went shooting down the mountain. By the time I got to the bottom and got back on the lift again, my fingers were just frozen. I mean, wind blowing in between my fingers made my hands so cold. I did about 2 more runs and I just couldn't take it anymore. So I went to the base, took off my skis, and I went into the ski shop there, and I was talking to the guy and I said, man, my fingers are freezing. Now, given it was close to 0 degrees. I mean, it was maybe like 2 or 3 degrees. So it was definitely cold outside. And I told the guy, I said, man, my fingers are freezing in these gloves with glove liners. I said, what can I do? What's your advice to keep my hands warm? And he said, well, number one, mittens will keep your hands a lot warmer, your fingers especially, a lot warmer than gloves will. So he turned me on to these, and these are made by Burton, who makes snowboards, of course, and they've got a lot thicker liner for starters, and it's got all these little plastic dots you can see on the front, so you really have excellent grip for anything that you're doing when you've got the mitten off. But when you put the mitten on with these big thick liners, you still got good dexterity. I mean, you can't use, of course, your fingers, but you can still grip a ski pole, you can still hold on to things, handrails, stuff like that, no problem. They're, got I guess a Cordura cover on the inside of them, and then on the outside they're just material. Another cool thing about these Burton snow gloves is on the back here there's a zipper. And you undo this zipper and you can buy those little hand warmer packets, and you ruffle that up till it starts to heat, and you stick it in this pocket, and then you close the zipper on it, and what that does is all the blood that's going to your fingers runs basically on the top of your hand, the majority of it. With that warmer packet sitting right on top of your, the palm of your hand, above the palm of your hand, right at the tips of your fingers, heats all that blood going into your fingers, and it works really well to keep them warm. Since I started using the mittens, and I've gone snowshoeing, I did a lot of skiing for a couple more days after I bought these. I don't know, I think they were 45, maybe 50 bucks. My fingers never ever got cold again on that trip. So that's when I learned to start using mittens instead of gloves. Now once again, it depends on what temperature you're at. Like I said, it was 2 or 3 degrees. So it was pretty nippy outside. When you start flying down the mountain with that wind, blowing through your fingers and stuff, it was cold. But that doesn't happen with the mittens. That wind does not get through them, and with the little hand warmer packets in the top, and like I said, once again, a much thicker glove liner than the ones I used to use with my ski gloves. But anyway, that's the ways I keep my hands warm. And again, I want to mention the Manzella, Windstopper.com. These are, I don't know, I think they're like $20, $25. And you can just search on Amazon or online anywhere. Just Google Windstopper or Windstopper.com, and you're going to find these gloves. And they are very, very effective. I mean, I've wore these, get back down in town, get my regular clothes back on, get out all my ski gear, and I wear these around town and just wear my big ski jacket, and my hands never get cold. And it's like, in town it's like 20, 24 degrees, and these little Windstopper gloves work very, very well. But anyhow, that's how I keep my hands warm, guys, when I'm out and I'm backpacking, or I'm skiing, or I'm snowshoeing, doing any outdoor activities in, 30 degrees freezing, or even below. Like I said, down to about 0. I would not ski in these Manzella gloves or anything because my fingers would probably freeze. So I use my mittens for that, and still, if it's cold around camp or something, I'll still wear my ski gloves sometimes because I need my fingers more around camp than I do if I'm skiing or snowshoeing, where all I'm doing is holding onto my poles and either walking or just, skiing. So the mittens work great for that. But anyhow, that's how I get it done, guys. I've learned all this over a lot of years and built up these multiple sets of gloves that get me through all the different temperature ranges that I'm going to see if I'm up in Colorado or Montana or somewhere, and even sometimes northern Minnesota, dog sledding. But anyway, all these sets of gloves work well. They've been well tested and well used, and I just want to share that with you guys. Like, subscribe, and I will catch you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching. I appreciate it.